This is really disturbing. Matt Walsh has weighed in on a very controversial subject, and that is...
I like Matt Walsh better than Steven Crowder.
Yeah, well,
I actually will say that.
He goes deep. He goes deep. He's been...
he goes deep.
He's stressed the ongoing issue with PC culture and how it impacted Jesus Christ. Yes, that's for real. Let's watch.
Ultimately, Pilate orders Jesus' execution. Why does he do that? And here's the crucial point. Why does Pilate...
He's talking about Pontius Pilate. Back in, I guess, what would be the year? What year would that be? Would that be 32 AD, I guess? Or no. That would be 32. I don't know. Well, somewhere down there, around the time that Jesus died, obviously. But go ahead.
For the execution of Jesus. It's not because Pilate, as the governing authority, is afraid of Jesus or thinks he's an insurrectionist or is a threat to their power. No, it's because the mob demanded. The mob shouted, "Crucify him." Pilate ordered the execution. He did something he knew was wrong, ignoring Roman law, because the mob demanded it. So if there's any lesson here, aside from the theological lessons that can be applied to this current situation in America, it's about mob rule. It's about this is why you don't cave to the mob. This is why governing authorities need to uphold the rule of law. The execution of Jesus was not done in an attempt to uphold the rule of law. It was really done in defiance of the rule of law. It was done because the rule of the mob had supplanted the rule of law. And this is what happens when a governing authority caves to the mob and gives a violent mob whatever they want. You end up executing the Messiah. Okay? That's the real lesson.
It's he.
I muted myself, but you would have heard me. I was just like, wow, that's an escalation.
So is he suggesting that Chauvin is the Messiah? I mean, who's the Messiah in his analogy here, where he's talking about like the mob is demanding police reform here, and you end up killing the Messiah?
Maybe the TV show Cops or Live PD.
Yeah, sure. Cops and Live PD are the messiahs of culture. Also, I'd have to say, I mean, Jesus would, I think if I read it correctly, Jesus would, he'd certainly be about, forgiveness and change. And I think he would definitely be out protesting.
And presumably,
for me to say, I don't think Jesus would be sitting around being like,
I mean, I seem to remember that
Jesus would be like, this is how Cops gets canceled.
But I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not really up on my on Christianity from an academic standpoint, but my understanding is that Jesus went in to the temple and overturned the money changers' tables. Now, if that's not a protest and a infraction against the rule of law, I don't know what is.
Well, the money changers had put out a statement in support of an unruly mob.
Well, I mean, the money changers
bothering Roman soldiers. So Jesus was telling them
the Sadducees
to stop being. Yeah,
they ran the temple. He didn't like it. He came in and overturned their tables. That's what a protest is, isn't it? That's what he was doing.
No, that's looting.
Yeah, he was doing some looting.
It was a looting. Yeah.
The Wendy's.
If you give in to the mob, then you don't get to watch Cops anymore.
Wow, you talk about shoehorning that in, maybe you should try to go for like some type of intermediate example.
Do you remember Steven Seagal's Cop Show?
If you listen to the mob, you kill the Messiah. It's probably, there's got to be something in between that.
I would suggest that there's a lot of gradations there.
If I remember correctly, it was the mob that threw the tea into the Boston Harbor because they were revolting against the rule of law that had been established by the monarchy in England. Who was the Messiah there? Was it the tea or just the taxes on the tea?
No, it was the tea company.
Oh, the tea company.
Yeah, Jesus.
Interesting.
That's pretty clear.
That's fascinating. And I mean, you got to try and come up with something intermediary there, right? Like,
yeah, I was gonna say that was way too much. Everything else he was saying, I totally clocked, but that was such an escalation. That was just like, dude, you gotta, like, I don't even know, like, what would that be like, and then if we don't have single payer, then that means that all children aren't covered, and if all children aren't covered, that means that the Hashem might not come. And then the revelation Torah cannot be completed. That's what happens when we don't have single payer.
Really
like
wanted
you gotta
to
just like
shoehorn
hold
that
it
in.
down a little bit. Like you can't go to maximum effect.
Yeah. Calling from a